All right. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jalen Dawes, of course, and this is Jalen Unplugged. Today we're going to be trading gold once again. Today is May 21st. It is Thursday, the last trading day of the week. Um, the market has been looking pretty good this week. It finally looks like we hit the bottom of the area of the zone that we were in. So let's go ahead and jump on and see what we can do today. So starting on the monthly. Looks like we were on a pullback and we might be finished with that pullback. Um, so yeah, as you can see here, we came down to fill gaps. We came back up, came back down to retest the low. And I think we might be respecting the low of this candle right here. And so we should be on the way back up. So let's see if we can find that zone. All right, so still no zone that we can draw out yet. As you can see, we do have a gap above, so we do have a reason to come back up. To retest this area. So we definitely could be looking for a buy. Now coming to the 4 hour, we have this over here, this demand here. As you can see, this is our last demand. Because you see, we have a gap here, and then we came back down to fill that gap, and we respected this low right here. So this is the 4 hour demand zone that is being used to hold price up. And as you can see, we came down into that same area and we rejected. So I would assume that we are going to be using a zone somewhere up in here. Probably make this one here a different color. And then this one here, make a somewhat brighter tan, gray. All right, so for me so far, this is like the area that we would be taking a buy from. For whatever reason, if we have to take a sell, this would be our supply up here. Just because we have all of this price action up here to the left that would need to be taken out because all of these are gaps to be filled. But the last high that we came to respect was this one right here because we broke this high here with this one, but we did not break this high over here. So this is the supply for the 4 hour. Let's go to the 1 hour here. So now on the 1 hour, this area definitely looks good to take a buy. Um, we have the beginning of the gap here, top ending of the gap here, and we came back into that gap, filled it, and as soon as we tapped it, we had pressure to push back up. So I'm definitely happy to see that happen on this area here. And as you can see, we broke one, two highs that we were being respected with. As you can see, we had a gap here. We came up to fill that gap. As soon as we did, we pushed down to the bottom, sweeping this low. And after we swept that low, we then pushed again to sweep this low. And ever since then, we've been respecting lows coming down every single time. Now, we did come down and sweep these lows here, but we respected this one here. And then after we respected that low, what happened? Price pushed up and continued to break more highs. And we broke the last high over here. Is the last high that we broke, but technically we are now bullish. So we came back to fill this gap here. And in order to fill gaps, we had to go bearish. So we're just going to be waiting for the bearish trend to end and see a bullish trend beginning in our zone. So now let's drop a little lower, see if we can find a 30-minute zone. And yes, we do have a 30-minute zone as well, right here. From the top of the gap to the swing low. Let's make this one a different color. Probably go like a royal blue. Now let's go on to the 15. And again, we have another zone here. So we're going to go from the top to the swing low. Make it a different color. And let's go down to the 5. And yes, we have one more on the top to the swing low, spread that out, make it a different color. And then let's check the 3 minute. And I love to see this. The 3 minute and the 5 minute both line up with the same exact zone. So that's really, really good. Let's see what the 1 minute looks like. We might have another zone up in here. Yep. So even on the 1 minute, we have another zone. So we could draw that out as well. Now, the 1 minute zone, we don't have to see get filled. But if we do fill it and respect immediately, we know why. Because we do have that 1 minute zone up in there. Do we have a 15-second zone? It is possible. So yeah, we do have a 15-second zone up in here as well. We could just mark that with a line and we are good there. Um, just tightening it up a little bit here. All right, so we're good. All right, so that's pretty much what my buy would look like if I were to take a buy. I would want it off of this red zone. If we fill the orange zone, okay, cool. But for the most part, we just need to see a fill on the red zone and see price turn around. Now let's go back real quick and see if we can find a sell just in case price decides to hover around here at open instead of hovering around lower. Let's see if we can find a sell. So we have our first supply for the 4 hour. Let's go to the 1 hour. Um, I mean, for this one, it's kind of tricky because we do have this little area right here, and that was the last zone to be respected. We do have a gap right above up here. We do have a gap right above. You see that there's a space. So it is possible that we could be drawing towards that since we do have a gap right above our swing high. So we could draw towards that. And we do have a minor supply here. This one I would probably see more as a target as long as we don't tap it or too early. Change these colors up here. All right, let's go to the 30. So the 30 also matches up with this swing high, but we also do have another big zone up here. That looks good as well. So it's like we do have zones up in here, but it's just what is price going to come to? I would, if I were to take a sell, I would want to see this first one get disrespected and we tap into this up here. Yeah, and it matches with the 15. Now the 5 has its own zone. It's a little tight. It's a little tight, but it is there. I would definitely prefer to see price being respected down below because even up here, we do have a gap here, but look how tiny this zone is. Like it's there on the 15, but then when you go to the 5, it's very, very tiny. So I would say I would just like to see price go drop lower into my zone. I really don't want to see it going up because none of these two really make sense. It would just make more sense to see price being respected on the downside to go back to the upside. This is for sure just a pullback. and we got 2 hours left on this candle. So I would like to see this candle here be the one pushing down, maybe closing somewhere here, the next one open and push us in, and then we just keep continue to the upside. That is what I would like to see happen today on gold. But we do have 30 more minutes until we have price open. So let's go ahead and just wait that out. I'm probably going to delete this green just so we're not getting confused. And we'll leave it like that. And we'll just put a line here for the last gap to see where price is going. So this is what the setup that I'm waiting on for real, for real. These are just backup setups. I'll probably go back in and refine more if we were to have to take a trade in one of these two zones, like if price were to come back and then look like it wants to sell off. But until then, we're gonna wait patiently for the buy. Low key, if we don't get the buy, I might not take the trade just because we have a lot of room to go on this zone. Like as you can see, we are at the bottom of the zone. We will be waiting for the bottom tick to then come up and fill these gaps here. So that's pretty much what I want to see happen. But we do have to be mindful that we could sell just for the simple fact that we just broke a low. So we were making new highs. We made a new low right here. We made a low here. We came back up and then broke that low again. Then we pushed up, filling gaps, respecting the high over here. And then we pushed lower, breaking that low. We just have not broken this low to the left over here. We have not broken any of these lows to the left. Only current price action is what we have been breaking. So possibly we could be breaking this high for the first time, or we would continue down to the bottom. So that's what we're just going to be waiting to see what we're doing today. So yeah. So I gotta use the bathroom, so I'll be right back. All right, so I'm currently in sales on my TradeAvate account. Stops right at the top. 1 to 3 would be right here.
No way. No way. No way. No way. Mama, mama, mama. Meow.
So we're break even on this trade, so no losses happening.
Mm.
So we're just waiting at this point. And I went super light on this one. I only went with 2 micros, but we should see a good push happen here. 1 to 3 is here somewhere. 1 to 3 is here. So we're doing good. We're pushing into that zone now. Keep pushing, bro. We got 4 minutes left on this 30. Like, if we can get this move, that's a 1 to 8. I think I want to trail my stops. This high here. If we respect it, I might trail my stops here. That would give me a what if we reverse a little bit more than a 1 to 3. I think I want to get my stops there. Yeah, now that we're making that move to the bottom, I'm definitely moving my stops. All right, so I got stops at the high, at the new high we just made.
Go.
I'm up 238 at the moment. I want to see price get to 44.96. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna come up to take us out. Stop fill. All right, so we got taken out. So now we're just gonna wait for our buy position. I want to see price come down. We are at that hourly gap, so we're kind of bouncing off of it. But I want to see the pressure continue and we push down. But we have secured so far a little bit more than a 1 to 3. Jalissa, relax, baby. But yeah, so we're just waiting. That might have been the move for the day, but we're definitely gonna wait and see if we can get our buy position. We should get a continuation to the bottom. It looks like it's just trying to pull back, but I'm glad I got out. Yeah. It looks like it's just trying to fill this gap that it left on the 5, and there's a bigger gap on the 15.
Even pure nothingness is chock full of activity. And one day we think, one day one of these tiny little bubbles decided not to go back into the vacuum, but to keep on expanding and expanding. And that became the Big Bang. And so the theory says that the universe is dynamic and that universes are being created all the time.
What about Adam and Eve? And this
What
story?
about Adam and Eve?
You don't think this story is true that there was a garden, Adam and Eve, Adam ate the apple, put your clothes on, behave yourself, and then, we all come from there?
Well, I think there's evolution, and evolution did create life forms that are single-celled, multi-celled, and then cells with a nervous system like fish, and then fish became land moving organisms. So I think there's a linear progression.
But you don't believe the stories told in the First Testament of the Bible around how humans came to be? God created the world in 7 days. You don't believe that stuff?
Well, I think it's a fairy tale. I think it's a very compelling fairy tale. But I think that even the people who teach religion realize that it's a metaphor, that we don't really mean 24 hours in a day, because that deals with the earth. In the universe, there could be other worlds where a day is not 24 hours. A day does not look like what the Bible says in Genesis. So I think it's a way to organize your religion into a way that is digestible and people can understand it, and it touches people, which is the purpose of religion. The purpose of religion is to touch people, to bring them together into a commonality, and that's what the story of Genesis does. Religion, in some sense, is a way to help people, to show people guidance, the good life, so that you don't terrorize other people, that you make life better for other people. Not that it explains the meaning of existence, but it gives you a reason for existence.
And you would consider yourself to be an atheist?
No, I'm agnostic. I believe that there's a lot of truth because it's a way of behaving. It's a way of learning how to be good to your neighbor. It's a glue that holds things together. Not that it gives meaning for life, but it shows the way.
It shows the way.
So we're within that hour demand. We're in that hour demand. And this is that first push to the downside. We have 34 minutes left. So it's probably going to be on the next 30-minute candle that we actually tap in, which would be good because we would definitely have the bottom wick of the next candle. So we're just waiting to see what happens here. We need 4 minutes left. All right, so we tapped on that 15, or was that the 30? So we tapped that 30. Now, what are we going to do with this closure? That's what's important. How are we going to close? I definitely still want to see this dip deeper. We have not broken a high on a 1 minute yet, so I'm not banking on this yet. And I would want to fill this gap, but I could definitely tell by the way we're coming down, we're going to blow through this and make a new low. So we're just going to be patient here. Got 20 seconds left. On the 5, the 15, and the 30, and the hour we got 30. 4 hour we got 30 minutes left. The 1 hour we got 30 minutes left. So this 30-minute candle here is really gonna be what we got. So we just closed bullish on the 5. We're retesting that low. I really don't want to take it from here. Yes, perfect. Okay, so we're going to take the low. Oh, we didn't even take the low. Came close though. Yeah, I like that. Keep falling. 5 minutes left. That 5 of them dropped. 30 looks good. Hour. Yeah, so we're making a bottom wick for the 4 hour, which looks good right now. You know, we took the low. We broke a high already. Not a good break of the high. But we broke highs. Now we just need to make a low. Want to at least fill this 15, bro. Which we should. We got 13 minutes here. We should get at least this fill with the 15. If we don't fill the 5, it is what it is. But we should at least fill the 15. Those sweeping lows, but it's not ready for the buy yet. Yep, there we go. Keep falling. We just broke the high.
Gabby.
But we also just tapped into a supply. So we're probably gonna sweep these lows and then hit the that 15 at least.
Listen.
Ocean. All right, so we're filling that 15. The 5 minute still has 20 something seconds to go to close. Eleven seconds. And it's still closing bearish, so we're being patient with this. We're waiting. All right, so this should be the last push here to the bottom. We got 4 minutes, 3 minutes left on this 5 minute candle. We should get a good push to the bottom and then get pulled back to the top here. All right, so we're breaking highs. There we go. That's a good break. So I want to see a retrace here. The 1 minute we did break highs, but I want to get a retest of this low. This 15 looks really, really good. There we go. I like this push that we're getting, but I want to see a retrace.
Yeah. No. Let's see when- Oh,
How's the market today, pal?
It's moving pretty good. I took one trade and I made money on this account. I made a
These are all different accounts.
200. Yeah. I have 3 accounts on this one and then 1 account on this one. So I'm just watching them, but like I wanted to take the trade from here for the buy, but that shit just took off. It didn't like give a entry. It just left. So I didn't take this, but this is what I wanted. I would have been done already, bro.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting for it to come back, but it's just taking that long. It's taking too long. I'm not trying to sit here all day.
Not trying to sit here all day. You're not trying to make no money, nigga.
Facts. But
Shit, nigga. I be doing this shit like it was, well, shit, it's a job.
it definitely is a job. And I know it's gonna go up, but it's just taking mad long to come back for an entry.
Mm.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm fake about to call it, bro.
But just watch it from your phone.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to do. But it's done up later.
That's fucked up. That shit really edging.
Real deal edging, bro.
Ain't touch that shit. It only did it once.
And they didn't even do it like the right way. They shit did it the most ugliest way possible to make sure I didn't take that bitch.
So you're really just waiting for the stick to touch that zone.
Yeah, literally. All right, guys. So I am sorry. I had to leave and I didn't get to record my entry just because I was in the car. So I took entry on my phone. But yeah, so we entered a little late. I wanted to get in on this bearish candle right here, so we would have had a way better RR right now. But yeah, we're just catching this move to the bottom. Since we never filled my gap at the bottom down here, we're definitely gonna come back for that as a target. So price is shooting down now. We rejected off of this supply at the top up here, and as soon as I seen that rejection, I just took entry. And yeah, we are already way more than a 1 to 3. We're currently at a 1 to 7 right now. Now I'm gonna just go with the $18 because we definitely got enough space to go to the bottom. I just don't want to get like stopped out just barely. Because we're definitely coming down to fill all these gaps, bro. Like, there's no way we're not. So I'm just trying to catch as much of this move as possible. But yeah, we're sitting pretty right now. We're definitely sitting pretty. There's no reason why this should reverse on us whatsoever. We should at least be taking out the lows down here. But I could definitely see this whole thing getting swept since we respected off of this supply up here that we've been respecting. And then we broke lower, so we flipped bearish, and then we came back as a pullback, respected the high, and then we took our position to take the sell. So that's what we're just waiting on now, is for the full push to the bottom. And I really don't have a target, so I just left it down here because I mean we could just drop dramatically for no reason. And I would just like to be part of that move if we get that. So I just left TP pretty much open. But we're pretty much targeting at this low where we keep wicking. So maybe we can get that move if we actually get a good push to the bottom. Or should I take 200? Like, there's no reason to give back money. I'm gonna take 200. So we secured at least a 1 to 5. So we secured at least a 1 to 5 on this. So I'm happy with that, baby. I'm coming. So we secured at least a 1 to 5 on this. So I'm pretty much done for the day, boy. 200 on the day. All right. So it took me out. So we got out at a little bit more than a 1 to 5, which is beautiful. Like we were chilling all day, bro. All day we was waiting on the setup. We still didn't get the setup we wanted, but we did good. I'm not tripping about today. Today was a good day. Great way to end the week. All right, so that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and remember, stay unplugged. Deuces.